Hello, hello. Oh, I can share my screen with my audience. Well, how exciting is that? Hello, hello. This is Laura V. I'm just gonna, there we go. Adjust this a little bit. There. Hi. This is Laura V coming on for day 2, practicing live streaming. Um, Tomorrow I'm gonna practice doing it through my Zoom room because I'm going to do opening ceremonies and closing ceremonies for the global gathering next week. So that's exciting. So, yeah, I've been working on refining my message. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Let me give you a little bit of my story. You learned about Benjamin yesterday and all that he did for me. And that's cool. And so what happened was like after that, I started receiving I'd gotten into a practice of just calling in my higher self every day and talking to my guides. And then I started receiving invocations. And then I received this idea, go for f- go get 20 women into embodied awakening. And if you get them all consistently in embodied awakening, do this professionally. I'm like, oh, okay. So I did. It just so happened my friend had 2 shows like within a month. I did this before December. Um, this happened in a very short period of time, and so I she let me just hang out with her at her booth, and when women came to look at her stones, I said, "Hey, would you like to, try embodied awakening?" And they all said yes, and all but just a couple, and so I got them all into embodied awakening. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, this is cool. And then there were like 5 women that I helped actually have a healing using the healing invocation in like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, this works. Wow. So I created a program and I launched it December 20th with 2 ladies, and that's how this started. And then I was like, "Well, okay, this is cool. Now what do I do?" Like, yeah, it didn't make sense to do another program, not a 6-week thing, but I'm like, "I wanna keep practicing because these invocations are fun, and I'm getting new ideas all the time, and I wanna try them out and all this." And so I said, "Hey, what about, like, doing a weekly practice? Like, we could do a 7-day practice, 14, 21, 28, 28 days." I'm like, "Really? 20? Okay." So I launched 28 days of invocation practice. Yeah, and so we invoked stuff, and that was fun. So we wanted to do more work on the body, so I came up with I received 4 invocations to help heal the conditioning around the body. And I invited a whole bunch of people from Benjamin's group. I said, "Hey, Benjamin, would you mind pitching this to the group?" And she said, "Sure." So like 30 women came on over, and 10 or 12 of them came to the live calls. And so I practiced with them, and they were having fun. I was having fun. We were doing some healings. It was all good. It was like, okay, this is fun. And I was like, oh, after the 28 days, like, hey, I really like doing this. Do you? Yeah, let's keep going. Okay. So we did. But I was like, I got to charge something. I didn't know what I had. I didn't know how valuable this was, but I could see it in their faces. Like in a month, their faces changed. They were lighter and brighter. And there were times when a few of them would come in and they'd be glowing, like literally glowing. It was so cool. It was so much fun. So we did that for a few months and we just created this little close knit group of people and it was really cool. And then by the end of the year, I just wasn't sure I wanted to stay with it, and so it kind of fizzled out. So then I came into this year with, oh my goodness, I'm going to be launching an online global gathering. I the option was June or October. And when somebody said, "Hey, we need to call in peace," I was like, "Oh, We can't wait for that. We need it now. So June it was. And so here we are. And yeah, so I've been refining my message. Like, okay, what is it that I do? Who am I here for? Just trying to get really crystal clear. And I feel like I'm finally on the cusp of that, which is really exciting. So what do I do exactly? Well, okay. So primarily my clients have been people who've read Benjamin's book. It's called Instant Divine Assistance, and there's a huge subtitle, but Instant Divine Assistance is what'll get you there. And so they knew the invocations, and they had been doing them in a group. But okay, I gotta say, like in the beginning, back in 2020, I joined a new Facebook group. I watched this thing blow up in months. It went from like a few hundred to 2,000 in 2 or 3 months. It was crazy because she had this quiz. It was brilliant when she knew how to grow a Facebook group. Well, so she had a summit because she wanted to the whole point of this was to introduce these women who were amazing energy healers and energy workers and wanted to introduce them to people and help them grow their business. And so they did a little summit and it was powerful. And then a week later, we did a debrief. It was very cool. The crazy thing was, I was in a hotel in California that day. So I got on the call and these ladies were talking about, they pull cards and they like make prayers to their guides. But I was figuring out that none of them were expecting to hear anything in return. I was like, "What is this?" And so I said it. I was like, "You do know they can talk back, right?" Like, "What?" Now, here's the thing. I've learned a lot about clairs. The clairs are like, they're the spidey senses, our non-physical senses that mirror our physical senses. Um, so clairvoyance is sight through your mind's eye versus through your physical eyes. Although honestly, they're becoming the same thing very soon. Clairaudience is hearing. And then you've got a spiritual sense for feeling, for sensing, and then there's feeling emotions. That's clear empathy, something like that. Clair means clear. And then there's gustance and something else. So there's taste, touch, smell, hearing, sight. And then there's clair knowing. There's that one's called claircognizance. And so yeah, I definitely so we have all of the clairs. It's just some of them are more active than others. So in me, my clairaudience and claircognizance are more active and clairsensions. I'm really good at feeling energy. Um, so that those are my top three. So clairvoyance isn't real strong, but my sister, her clairvoyance is her strongest gift. And so she's like, I don't hear anything. I see things. I'm like, well, that's fine. But I hear things. I have been having conversations with spirit beings in my head my whole life, not knowing that this was clairaudience. I thought I was supposed to hear it through my ears because there were like 3 times in my life where I actually did hear something outside of my head. Like a voice outside of my head spoke to me as though a person was standing next to me talking into my ear. It was like that. It was crazy. Very cool, but crazy. So, so yeah, so I'm used to hearing them. And this was a whole new concept to them. Well, the other thing was my daughter had developed her psychic abilities. I didn't know she was doing this. Back when she was like 12, 14, she was hanging out with a friend who would take her to the celestial planes and she developed her psychic medium gift. She could see and hear spirits and ghosts, actually. She can elementals too. Um, but yeah, so she'd walk around the house. She didn't reveal this to me until she was 18. And she said, "By the way, I can see and talk to spirits, and Grandpa's here all the time." I was like, "Wait, what?" Because I was just coming to terms with the fact that I was recovering memories of my dad abusing me as a kid. It's a mixed tale, but at this point, I was pretty upset with him. Like, "What are you doing here?" "I'm not anymore." Like, "That's all taken care of. It's all good." But, I was in the beginning stages of my healing process, so yeah. But he became a really huge part in helping me heal, which was very cool. So, and she played a big part because she could talk to them and I couldn't. So this is the point, is that she could just look at them. She could see them out of the corner of her eye. I can't do that. Sometimes I can, but it's got to be boosted by something. Um, and then she can hear them, like have a conversation with them. And I'm not that good. That's not where my strengths lie. Let's put it that way. I'm more of a channel. My strength is channeling. I channel energy and I channel energy. I channel energy through my physical presence, but I also channel through my voice. Um and then I actually can channel messages from guides. So channeling is more my thing. But I had to learn to connect with my guides in a different way. And my mediumship teacher taught me about the meadow, and everyone has one. And I remember one day my daughter was with me in my room and we were talking to my mom. And she says, "Grandma's telling you to go into the meadow so she can give you a hug." Because, yeah, in my meadow, like they're very real to me. I think it's because I can let go of the wall that we create around us in the physical world. That goes down, and I'm much more open. My imagination is much more vibrant and strong in my meadow. So I've learned to go talk to my guides in my meadow, although I have conversations with them in my head too. But that's been a great tool. So when I realized these ladies had a relationship with their guides but wasn't hearing anything, I was like, it was only a one-way communication. I said, "Okay, I'm going to teach you how to get into your meadow." And so that's how this started. Is I started teaching people how to get into their meadows to talk to their guides. But it was hit or miss. Well, once I had embodied awakening, now I have everybody get into embodied awakening first. And then we go into the meta. I have a process, and I have some really beautiful practices we do inside the meta that people just love. And yeah, that's really effective. So, yeah, so that's what I do. So, okay, so part of it is I help people connect with their higher self and their guides. And then what's really important to me, you can't get very far if you don't practice it consistently. And the whole idea is to be more and more of your awakened self. So, what is an awakened self? So, awakened self means that you are awake to the rest of you, to your soul self, your higher self. And so, you're more connected to the non-physical. Lynn Purden can see energy, and the way she explained it is your higher self is around you all the time. It's like a field that's around you, and you're inside it. And a portion of your higher self is in the body at all times because that's what gives your body, that's what animates your body. Suzanne Giesman talks about this too. It's like your higher self breathes with you, and when you breathe, I'm like, oh, I love that. So that's the best way to connect is through your breath. Is you can connect with your higher self and with your body through your breath. And she said, so what happens is when you need to be more physically present, less of your higher self is in your body. And then when you want to be more spiritually connected, more of your higher self comes into your body. And I thought that was really interesting. So the way I look at the embodied awakening invocation is that you're inviting more of your higher self into the body. And it allows you to merge so that you become one. It's the idea is that becomes your normal. Like, yeah, you do the invocation just to kind of remind yourself and tune it's more to focus your awareness more than needing the energy to come through. But I can still feel the energy run through me when I do the invocation. So I've played with this, like inviting my higher self, inviting my soul self, my highest self. That's a new one that someone in the membership came up with. last month. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Um, yeah, so there's lots of different ways to do this, but that's the fun of it is is you get to come up with different ways of calling in energy and talking with your guides and yeah. So I guide in my healing circles. I'll often take us into the meadow and we'll do fun stuff in there. That's what I tend to do with that. But yeah, so I help women connect with their higher self and their guides, develop a relationship with them, and start, a two-way dialogue with your guides. And then, because I hear a lot of people say, "Boy, I wish I could talk to my guides like you do." I'm like, "But you can." And honestly, uh, just like everybody else, I've had like I'm not sure my guides exist. That's That's been a fun one these last 6 months. I've been in that place, maybe a little longer. Like, do they even really exist? That's so funny. Um, yeah, yeah, they're starting to come through. I think what was happening was I think there's just been a lot of change going on this year, and there's just been a lot. And so I think I just kind of get overwhelmed. But I decided, and I think they probably stepped back for this reason. I think they wanted me to develop a stronger connection with my higher self. Actually, they actually said that to me once because I'm like, why aren't you people talking to me? And they're like, we want you to strengthen your connection with your higher self and then interact with us through that. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes more sense." So what I've been actually guided to do, not realizing they were guiding me to do this, was to connect more with God and with my higher self. So I've been strengthening that relationship more and exploring that and figuring out what that looks like. And now they're coming back through and saying, "We're here. We're here to work with you." And they've kind of shifted. Like I had some white buffalo calf woman and Saint Breed had been my big ones for a long time. And Saint Breed, she's still here for me. But they want me to work more with Isis, believe it or not, which is I got to work through that one. I have some prejudices against Egypt. Um, so working through that. But yeah, so yeah, this is me. This is me in my natural state. Let's put it that way. Um, but yeah, so I do help people connect with their guides, and even if I'm this is the other thing I've learned is even if I'm going through like some changes, I can still be present for my clients and I can still give them what they need, which is really nice to know. It's like, okay, my higher self does not let me down when she's needed. So that's cool. So yeah, so developing a spiritual practice, developing a relationship with your guides, connecting that's the work that I do. It's all towards divine embodiment, which is a process we're all going through anyway, but we can do it intentionally and with more conscious awareness. So, yeah. So, I'm coming up with language that feels more aligned, which is exciting. So, yeah, I've been working on putting together a website. Um, it's really interesting. I've gone away from the big websites. I mean, I did for the summit because the summit requires that, but for my own, it's something sweet. I put it on Google Sites actually, and I really like it. I'm really excited. It's not going to have a lot of bells and whistles, which I prefer. It's just kind of a calling card, like, hey, here I am. Um, but as I'm more active on YouTube. I'm trying to be better about writing an article for Medium every month, at least once a month, because I need to be present there as well. But yeah, these are the two places where I'm working on being the most present. Um, yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited that the global gathering starts a week from today. Oh, yes, a week from today in 7 minutes will be the premiere of their first interview for the global gathering experience the power of peace. Oh, it's almost 11 a.m. Central Time. Oh, this is so exciting. So I'll be in the live chat and we'll all be watching it together. And here's why: because I want us to focus. I want our energy to be focused and I want it to together. So this is about community building. It's about experiencing the power of calling and embodying peace collectively and seeing how that can impact our world. So yes, very exciting. So yes, I will be up first. So in 6 minutes, a week from today, we'll be premiering my talk, and then at 6 p.m. Central next week, from the week from today, will be Benjamin's talk. And Benjamin's talk is so good. It's so powerful, and he does a really good job of explaining how doing our inner work has an effect on the world, and that we the most effective way we can help bring about peace on earth is by working on ourselves, doing that shadow work. And yes, and I share a really powerful story about that leading up to the summit. As I was working on the summit, I in April I had to face some heavy stuff, but it was all to serve to get me to where I am now, to really be a good host and agent for this work we're going to be doing next week. So I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Yeah. So yes. So I'm going to be sharing that story in my talk next week. Yay! So exciting. Okay, I'm just really excited. So yeah, at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, where I'm going to come live through Zoom onto YouTube and hold the opening ceremony, welcome everyone in to the space, and give a sense of what we're going to be doing and why, and then at 11 we'll watch the first interview together and do the energy exercise together. That will be very exciting. And yeah, and then we all goes. So yeah, if you haven't registered, please do. Oh, I still haven't. I will go into the comments and put in the link so that you can register, because very important. Please join us, because yeah, registering very important. Why? Because you're going to get a bunch of free gifts, including a gift that I'm giving at the end of the summit. And it will give you the opportunity to buy a lifetime access pass. Because honestly, I can't imagine anyone not wanting lifetime access to this, because these energy practices are so potent. You're going to want to do it more than once. You're going to want to do it again and again. You're going to find a few. The idea is there's such a variety that you should be able, hopefully everyone finds at least one, if not two or three exercises that really call to them. Because honestly, I switch it up, because after a while the same thing gets old, and so I like to switch things up. So this will give you the opportunity to play with and explore more how these energy exercises work for you, and start to build your own practice. And um, registering, you'll be on my speaker page. I'm going to put up the link to my peaceful presence guide, and that baby is going to help you call and embody peace like regularly. It's one page with the invocations and a video guiding you through them, and a space for journaling and an assessment, so you can measure your progress. And so you just print out as many pages as you want, or you make as many copies, however you want to do it. You can do it digitally, you can do it on paper, um, and you just do it over and over, and you build this peaceful presence. The more you do it, the stronger it gets, and the more deeply embodied it becomes. So yes, so that's an additional free gift you're going to get, but you can only find it on my speaker page. You can only find it on my speaker page. Because yeah, I do have a website on Wix site at the moment. That's what's linked in the YouTube here, but my new one's on Google Sites. And yeah, I'm not going to uh, reveal that link until after the summit. So yeah, so please register. You're going to get a lot of goodies that you won't get if you just hang out on YouTube. So, and they go away. These are going to go away after 48 hours. So, yeah, you're going to want the lifetime pass. You- You're gonna. Like, these are really powerful exercises, and you're going to want to be able to access them more than once or twice. So, yeah, that's my spiel. All right. That's enough of me talking, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.